Hello, hello. Hi, Vicki. How good to see you. Makes me very happy to see you. Hi, Mary. Hey, Mary. I thought of you today. I was hoping you were going to catch it because today is the Pentart Decoupage Crackle. Woo-hoo! And I know you've been wanting to see it. So we're going to play around with it today and see what happens. I'm excited. Hi, Rhonda. Vicki, I'm so glad to see you. I don't think you've ever watched one of my lives before. Oh, I have to take a deep breath, you guys. This day, oh yay! This day just got away from me. Usually I can get a lot accomplished in a day, but today just kind of like evaporated, and I'm glad I have an easy project to work on today. At least I think it's going to be easy. So I came back down from the mountain on Saturday, and I'm going back up early in the morning tomorrow. I have to go, I don't have to. We came down because my granddaughter had cheerleading camp, and so her performance is tomorrow, so I'm going to go see her performance in the morning, and then we're heading back up the mountain. No, they're about half done. They're still spread out all over the dining room table. Some need one more coat, some are ready to get hung back up again. So one section of the kitchen is done, and then I was working on the other section. And I also have plans to interview my friend Pamela that lives up there, and she is a professional furniture refinisher and sells all of her furniture in the Red Door in Pine Top. And sometimes it sells so fast, she hasn't even got it unloaded out of her truck before it's getting loaded into somebody else's vehicle. And so I thought it would be fun for you guys to get some tips and tricks from her, and maybe in this crummy economy that we're all stuck in, maybe that would help some people earn some extra dollars just recycling furniture, because sometimes you can just get it for free. I get a lot of stuff for free, you guys. So I'm going to do that next week, and I'll finish up on the cabinets. So I'll do a short video when they're all done so you guys can see what it looks like. And if I don't run out of time, I still want to paint the bathroom floor up there. I'm really excited to do that, but I don't know. There's lots of projects going on, so we'll see how it goes, but I'm going back up the mountain tomorrow. Okay, so hi, Lisa. Oh, you're bouncing between two lives? Well, I hope you stay here and watch for a while and watch the other one on replay. Rhonda, thanks for watching from Spokane. I'm going to get started since you ladies are waiting. So what we're going to do today is, I've had this for probably a month, maybe a little longer, and it's Pentart, P-E-N-T-A-R-T, Decoupage 2-step medium. So it has one step, two-step. And it's called Pentart. It's actually manufactured in Budapest. So I'm going to reach out to Wise Owl and see if they can manufacture this here in the United States, because I did a lot of research today, and there are a lot of people really interested in this product. And there are only, I found this one and one other brand, and it didn't look like it was a good brand. So, and you know, with world events, who knows how long we'll be able to get this from, where did I say, Budapest? Yep. So anyway, that's what we're gonna do. And you can do it over, this is the fun part. When you decoupage on furniture, like this piece of furniture behind me is the Dixie Belle Crackle. And that's one step. See, I learned a lot today and I'm sharing it all with you guys. That's one step decoupage medium, meaning you paint, you put on your crackle, and you paint. And your crackle is one step and you get your crackle and you're done. The Pentart is a two-step. That's why there's two different bottles of it. And that's why you can do it on top of a transfer, which I think is very cool, or you can do it on top of decoupage. So I'm going to decoupage this bee onto this box and then we'll crackle over the top of it. So I'm going to start off with the decoupage because it needs to sit a little bit and then we'll do the transfer. So let's get started. I'm going to put the camera down, you guys. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Mickey. Good to see you guys. So let me put the camera down. Put it back over here so I can make sure I get the camera in the right place. Okay, I'm just trying to get it lined up under the camera. That seemed to work. I always do this for you guys. I always try to remember to turn the camera the opposite direction so that you see things correctly, but it always makes it really wacky for me. But you know, I'll do anything for you guys, so that's just the way it is. Okay, so I'm going to use, I sell these, I think they're $3, and it's a paper placemat, and it's a company that I've bought a lot of placemats and napkins from, and I think they have some really cool designs. And I think when I was looking at this, I could get all of that and not that. Okay, I just want to know where to cut because I'll use all of this on something else. I never ever throw my scraps away, you guys. When I did my box in a suit, I pulled out a lot of tissue from my scraps to finish him. And I think this piece is going to come off too, but let's just reconfigure here. So I can go that way and come off there. So I haven't used this stuff. I've had it for about a month and I'm excited to see how it works, and we'll learn together today. Okay, so I need to decoupage this on here. Cut it a little short in that corner. Oh, no, that's gonna work. Okay. Yeah. Barely fits on there. But I thought this was a good sample piece. If you haven't done this before, I would recommend that you do a sample piece before you do a piece that you love. That would be my recommendation. Okay, so I actually wrote down my instructions. Base coat it and smooth, and it needs to be nice and smooth, and then sand it afterwards. So I used my finishing sander to sand over it, and I do have a nice smooth finish on it. And then you coat with 1 coat of top coat. So whatever top coat you have, that's what you want to top coat with first. And I'm going to use the Dixie Belle Satin top coat, or if you have Wise Owl, you can use the Wise Owl Varnish. Either one will work just fine. And so I'm going to put a good coat of satin top coat all over the top of it. I went ahead and base coated the sides of all of these boxes because these boxes had been pre-painted with stencil designs for Pinners Conference 2 years ago, and I just thought they were ugly as heck. I didn't paint them. The students didn't paint them. They were painted as samples by somebody else, and they were really ugly, you guys. So I just thought I'm going to repurpose these boxes because they're really cool to use for projects. And so I gave them a good sand earlier today. So we're top coating with 1 coat of Dixie Belle Satin top coat. And I'm going to go ahead and top coat this one because it's going to need to be done, and it might as well get done and be drying. So, anybody have, hi Sandra. Mickey, I have, I'm going back up tomorrow morning after my daughter's cheerleading program. I don't know what you call it for cheerleading. I don't know if it's a recital or, oh, it would be a performance. Okay, so I have her performance, and then we're heading back up the mountain tomorrow. And when I went up there last week, I didn't have the paint with me because I didn't know that was one of the projects my daughter wanted to have done. But after we did the log room, the bear room with that log wallpaper, I turned around because that dresser is really pretty ugly. It's really old, but it could be really pretty. And I told her, I said, that dresser would look really awesome in here painted black. And she thought that was an awesome idea. So I'm going to use the black silk paint and anchor on it. And the reason is then I only have to paint on 2 coats because that has the primer, the paint color, and the top coat in it, just like the paint I'm using on the cabinets. So I only have to paint it 2 coats and it'll be done. And she had a pillow on the bed that was a black pillow, and it had a white bear, big white bear in the middle of the pillow. And I told her, I said, well, and she said it would be really cool to put tissue paper, decoupage the inside of all of those drawers, because you guys, she uses that place as a Airbnb. And I said, yeah, that would be awesome. If you want the drawers decoupaged, I'll just design a tissue. So I designed it after that pillow, and I'll post up here in the next couple of days because I sent off a bunch of designs, you guys. Anyway, I designed tissue paper that's a black background, and it has white bears going across it, and then it has bear paws going across it, and it's a repeating pattern. So anyway, I'm anxious. It'll take a few weeks for that tissue paper to get here, but I'll get the dresser painted this week, and then I don't know how long it'll be before I get the decoupage tissue in it, because she's got Airbnb guests coming. When we leave, then there's another family coming in for 3 weeks. So it's going to be occupied for a while. So that's the story on that. Now, I'm going to, I know it's not nice, but I'm going to turn the hairdryer on this for a minute just to get this good and dry. I'm going to put one more coat on here. I always like to have a liberal amount of, because when I decoupage, I don't use Mod Podge. And the reason I don't use Mod Podge is because it's not archival. And the reason why that matters is that over time, it's going to crack and yellow. And, you know, I might want to make things crack on here, but I don't want them to yellow. And so that's why I use the satin top coat, because it is archival. It isn't going to crack up or turn yellow. It'll only crack up if we want it to crack up. So Mary, that's really awesome about your sister sending a picture of your tray. That tray class is a really popular class. I need to get it back on the schedule. I'm running out of trays. My son-in-law is going to invest in one of those laser cutting machines that'll cut wood and cut wood into all kinds of different designs and shapes. So I'm excited for him to do that, because I need it and I can send him a lot of customers that need it. So, okay, I'm going to dry this one more time. Nikki, I would love it if you guys would want to watch me paint the dresser. I'd be happy to go on live. I don't know what day it'll be, but when I get ready to do it, I'll put an event post up like I do for my Tuesdays. I have another nightstand. I showed you guys the one nightstand in there that I painted, and that was a custom color. And I have another set of those nightstands here at my house. So in the next few weeks, I'll be painting that nightstand too, because that needs to go up there. So she wanted one to match. Okay, so that's tacky dry, but it's good enough. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this. I'm going to cut it a little. I'll sand off the edges, so I'm cutting it a little bit bigger than it needs to be, but then I can get rid of some of this excess out of my way. And then I have my plastic wrap here. And I'm decoupaging using the satin top coat, or you can use the Wise Hour 1 Hour enamel clear, or you can use the Wise Owl varnish. Either one of those are really good decoupaging mediums, just whatever you have on hand. And then I just need to get this centered up on here. That looks good. So the reason that I use this plastic wrap, you can use a plastic bag, is there's a lot of friction on your fingertips. That's why you can pick things up with your fingertips, because there's a lot of friction. And when you've got, especially if it's tissue, it's not so bad using this placemat. But if you're using tissue, you can easily tear your wet tissue with your fingertips. And so I also offload my brush here away from up here and then work my way up. Maybe I need to bring the camera down. There. Maybe that's better for you guys to see. Yeah, that worked. There's always a lag. Okay. And I just do a section at a time. Just lay it back down and use this wrap on your fingers to get out any wrinkles, and there aren't many wrinkles using this placemat. And I'm putting a liberal coat of it on, not sloppy, but not stingy. I'm working back up to where I lifted back up. So you guys, I have not a lot, but I still have some of these boxes left, maybe 15, 20 of them. And I think they are really cool boxes to use, because you could also get two different uses out of it. You could put one design on this side, and then you could do another design on the inside of it, like a three-dimensional design. And one could be one holiday and one could be another holiday. So I think they're really cool boxes. And I painted the edges white because I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I'm going to stain them. I just wanted to get this decoupage and crackle done and then look at it and decide, because I'm kind of thinking staining it would be really pretty. But just like furniture, you just kind of have to look at it and decide what is going to look the best. Listen to it. My daughter's getting really good at listening to things. It was really fun having everybody up there with me this weekend and everybody working on a project. My soon-to-be 8-year-old granddaughter was painting bedroom walls, and my grandniece, who is 16 or 17, I'm not really sure, she was painting, and my son-in-law was putting tile in the kitchen. Today he's doing repairs on the decking. And it was just super fun because everybody was working on a project. And it's just good time to have family time like that. So now I'm going to put another coat on the top. Let me look at my instructions. Okay, so I'm going to put one more coat on the top and then I need to dry it really well. And again, if you joined us late, I'm not using Mod Podge. I'm using Dixie Belle Satin Top Coat to decoupage with because Mod Podge is not archival and it will yellow and crack up on you in time. And I don't want that to happen to anything that I decoupage. And now I need to dry it. Hi Goldie, haven't seen you in a while. Hi Melissa. Hi, Joanna. Okay, so I can see a couple little wrinkles on it, and I'm truly rushing this. It's kind of a tricky project to do in a 1 hour live, but I just wanted to give it our best try. Now, I don't sell this Pentart. If you're tuning in late, we're doing the 2-step Pentart Decoupage medium. And what that means is that it's going to go on and dry clear and crackle on top of your decoupage. And I tried doing it with the Dixie Belle Crackle, and that I've learned today you have 1-step decoupage and 2-step decoupage. Dixie Belle is obviously a 1-step, and this is obviously a 2-step. It's labeled 1 and 2. And so that, I'm going to set this aside for a minute and see if this is dry. Something flew over on top of it. I don't think it'll matter. And I'm going to give it a real dry real quick. Hi Sherry, hi Molly. Good to see you, Molly. So you guys, this is an experiment. We're all in this together. We're all experimenting together here. Because I haven't used this product. If you are interested in ordering it, I don't sell it. I had to get it off of Etsy. And so that's what I recommend. If you've got somebody on Etsy that you regularly shop with, that would be awesome to support them. If not, then just find somebody on Etsy, because there's a lot of retailers on Etsy that are getting it. I'm looking into what it would entail for me to be a retailer for it, so we'll see. So you're supposed to be able to do transfers and decoupage tissue. And so this one's decoupage tissue. This is going to be a transfer that I'm putting on. And since this is an experiment, I thought I would just bring you guys along for the ride. So I think that looks pretty centered right there. And the thing about, if you haven't used transfers, is once they're down, then you're committed and you can't lift it back up. And I can still feel the heat in this from the hairdryer. That's probably not real good for my transfer. Okay, all your transfers come with a little wooden stick like this, and I pulled off, if you haven't used one before, I pulled off a paper backing. It's already blown away in here. And you just take this stick and you just rub it all over your transfer. And this is a super simple one because it's so small. It gets to be a little more challenging when you're doing a whole dresser or drawers on the front of a dresser or an armoire or something like that. Then you just take it one piece at a time and you use tape, and you just are super careful. And hopefully this works, because I'm a little worried about that satin top coat still being tacky, so we'll just see. And so when you start to pull up, if you see it coming up on this clear paper, just lay it back down, and with your stick, just go back over it again. And so you want to pull up a section at a time. You don't want to rush it. I'm losing my voice, you guys. So when we're done today, we will have done the crackle over a decoupage piece and over a transfer. And hopefully it works out on both. And when you're doing this at home, I highly suggest that you give everything more time to dry properly in between instead of rushing it like I am today. I'm sure you'll have a much easier, successful result if you follow the rules. And while I'm doing this, you guys, I told you that I designed that tissue paper to go inside the drawers of that chest that I'm going to paint in the bare room next week, but I also got some more Christmas designs and some more fall and Halloween designs done, so I'll be releasing those really soon. I sent them to the printers to get printed, and I'm super excited about them. And I also am doing Christmas in July, and if you haven't been paying attention to my posts, there are several classes, 2 of them specifically in July, and 2 of them are online classes. So if you aren't here in person and can't take a class in person, you can take the class online at your own convenience, and then you'll have access to it for 3 months after you take the class if you need to go back and refresh yourself. So that's the 2 online classes, and then the in-person classes, I think there's 6 classes in July that are all Christmas related classes, and they're super fun classes. So you guys go to my website and look under events, and that's where all the classes are listed, and see if anything appeals to you. It's always fun to get together with a group of other people for the classes. The classes are always a lot of fun. Ooh, that's pretty. Look at that, you guys. Isn't that pretty? Give me some hearts if you like this. Okay, so we're gonna set this aside, and we're gonna come back to the decoupage, and I'm going to go ahead and run this sanding block. This is a 220 sanding block, and this is a really good way to score your edges, and it needs to be dry when you do it. That's why I set it aside over there. And you get a perfect cut every single time. You get a nice clean edge. See how clean that is? And I'll do the same over here on this side. Also, you guys, my newsletter went out to everybody today, and I just want to remind you, if you've ever purchased from me, then you are on the mailing list, and you should be getting the newsletter. If you've purchased and you haven't seen the newsletter, check your junk mail, because there's always good stuff in there. I don't spam you. I don't send out multiple newsletters all the time. I send out 1 newsletter a month just telling you what's new, what's going on. Sometimes there's a sale code in there. Okay. So that'll make it easier to work with. So everybody, this is the deal. I'm looking at my instructions again. So you're supposed to use a soft, dry brush. So I'm just using an artist brush. It's a nice soft one, and it's dry. And I'm going to start with number 1. And this is Pentart. Get it in there. Pentart Fine Line Crackle Varnish. And there is another kind that's not fine line. And honestly, I didn't see it. I would like to try both of them to see which one I like the best. And I am going to reach out to Wise Owl and see if they can formulate this, because I think there's, I belong to several different business groups, and we were having a Zoom meeting last night, and this was part of the conversation last night, is some people had never heard of it, some people had heard of it, didn't know where to get it, nobody had tried it. I told them I had it, that I just hadn't had a chance to try it yet. Okay, I don't think I have to shake it. And the instructions on here are written, oh, there's English, okay. So, oh, see user guide attached. All right, well, let's do that first. saw it on here. Here it is. Find the English. Okay. It's water-based, 2-component system. Apply the first component onto the surface. After complete drying, apply the second component using a brush or your fingers. The crackles can be highlighted by rubbing solvent-based coloring. And then leave to dry for a day, then apply Pentart solvent-based varnish to make sure the surface is waterproof. So I'm going to try using the pigments from Would You Bend, rubbing those into the cracks. And I've seen people use wax, like a brown wax. So this is all experimental, you guys. So this is number 1, component number 1. And I saw in the video that it goes on white like this. So I'm not freaking out, because when it dries, it'll dry clear. And I also saw that the thicker you put it on, the bigger or better your cracks are. So I'm going to be a little bit generous with it. This is a 100-millimeter jar, and I think there's another size up that's 150. And if I like how this results, then next time I'll order the bigger jar, because I like to do a lot of decoupaging, and this has been something I've been trying to figure out how to do for probably a year. And so when I finally saw somebody doing it on a YouTube video, I was like, oh, I got to get me some of that. So I'm just making sure that all my edges have product on them. And it says a smooth coat, so I'm going to kind of smooth out a little bit. Okay, I'm going to put my brush in water. It says it's going to be milky opaque, so that's what it is. Let dry completely till clear. So I'm going to turn the hair dryer on again, you guys. And I don't want my paper towel blowing up on it. When you did Crackle, did you do it on top of Decoupage? Hi Connie, thanks for joining us. So I saw your answer there. Sherry, you probably did use Elmer's glue because lots of people do decoupage with Elmer's glue. Frankly, that's what Mod Podge is glue and water. But this is different. This is this is the only product I'm aware of that you can decoupage on top of and have it crackle on top of it. I don't think the glue would work on top of it. So while this has still got a little milkiness on it, while it's still drying, and it needs to be good and dry, I'm going to go ahead and put a coat of this on top of here because we're supposed to be able to crackle this also. I'm running out of brushes, you guys. They're all sitting in my thing of water. So I'm putting step 1 on top of this transfer. If anybody's done this process using glue, let me know, because that would sure be cheaper than using this. I mean, this wasn't terribly expensive, but glue, I have gallons of glue. But I know you can decoupage with glue. And I know you can also get crackle on furniture with using glue. But I don't think you can do this 2-step process. I could be wrong. Wouldn't be the first time. So if you're tuning in late, we're doing the 2-step process of crackle on top of decoupage and a furniture transfer. So right now I'm putting step 1 on this transfer. And this is all an experiment, you guys. I have never done this before. I've never tried these products before. You know, if you're gonna fall flat on your face, you should do it on a live, right? Okay, so I'm gonna close it back up again. And set this back out of my way. And this is still a little bit tacky, not too bad, so bear with me, you guys. Okay, you guys, we'll see if this is dry enough. It is shiny. Can you guys see that there's a little bit of a gloss on it? So it's like a little bit glossy. And while I was drying it, I was thinking I may just take some of the No Pain gel stain and stain a wood stain around the outside, or maybe I'll use the tobacco voodoo stain. I think I want a brown finish on here. Oh, you guys, I forgot to tell you, I went thrifting while I was up in the White Mountains, and on our way up, we stopped at the Goodwill in Fountain Hills. Holy cow, was that a fun place. And look what I got. This clock is so heavy. I bet it weighs 30 pounds. But one of my decoupage tissues that I just designed and sent off, I'm going to redo the clock part with that. And then I'm going to use the patinas and the verde and the turquoisey color. And I'm going to jazz this thing up. And I don't know what you can hang it on the wall with because it's super heavy, but I thought that was a really fun piece, really unusual. Okay, you guys, so we're gonna do step 2. Let me just see my instructions. Okay, so component 2 has an amber color. Apply smoothly with a soft brush, has a glossy finish, and you can use a hair dryer on it to dry it. So, like I said, I'm starting to run out of soft brushes here. I'm gonna go rinse a brush real quick, you guys. Did you guys miss me? I'm back. Okay, so now we're going to use component 2. And it's weird, you guys, because it doesn't say anything about shaking these bottles up or anything. And this is off color. It definitely has a tint to it. See the color? Thanks, Vicki. I thought that clock was really fun too. I don't remember how much I paid. I think I paid, I don't know. I can't now. I'd have to go looking on it to see what I paid for it. But it was funny because my daughter saw it first and she thought, I bet Mom's gonna like that. And then I come along 5 minutes behind her and pick it up, and she just laughed when she saw it in my cart. Okay, so I want to be sure you guys can see this. I'm just applying. This is component 2. This is the part that's going to crack up. And because of the color of this tissue paper, it doesn't matter that this crackle stuff is amber in color because it doesn't show up on here. In fact, I have to be careful to make sure I get everything covered. I've had some pieces that I've wanted to do this with, and this is the second experiment. The first one I was just using Dixie Belle Crackle, and it didn't work. Okay, so I just want to be sure I've got this everywhere. And I believe I do. I'm just gonna, instead of running the hair, well, I have to run the hair dryer on this, so I might as well run it on both of them at the same time. Sorry there's so much hair dryer, you guys. Molly, you poor thing. I hear all kinds of stories. I was talking to a customer on the phone yesterday in Texas, and she said all of their Goodwills are very expensive. And I think my Goodwill is not expensive because there's 3 or 4 of them within a 3-mile distance of my house. So they have to be pretty competitive with each other. But this one was in Fountain Hills. And if you don't live in the area, Fountain Hills is a really high income, really ritzy area. And so my daughter and I thought it would be fun to see what the rich people get rid of. And so we stopped there, and she found stuff, I found stuff. So it was definitely worth stopping there for sure. But we also stopped at the one in Prescott, and I always get ticked off at the one in Prescott because their prices are always super high. Even stuff you know that came from the Dollar Tree, they'll have it for $2. And I'm like, it was $1 to start with. They just irritate the crap out of me at the Prescott one. And there wasn't anything there to get irritated over. I didn't buy a single thing in Prescott. I didn't see anything I wanted. So there was no irritation this time, but sometimes I just get so annoyed. Okay, I'm sorry, you guys. I gotta put the dryer on again. Well, Sherry, come back and catch the end on replay. Okay, you guys, I am not seeing a single crack in here. So I don't know if that's because, hi Goldie, I don't know if that's because I rushed the process up by drying it and just didn't let it dry on its own. Let's read the instructions again. Okay, so the first component onto the surface after complete drying. Apply the second component using a brush or your fingers. The crackles can be highlighted by rubbing the solvent-based coloring or liquid patina into the surface. Leave to dry for a day, then apply a varnish onto it. So that's what we did. And the video I watched, let's see, component 1, milky opaque consistency, let dry completely till clear. Component 2 has an amber color, apply smoothly with soft brush, has a glossy finish, can use hair dryer. That's it. Oh, now I'm now I'm starting to see it, you guys. Just barely, okay, it's happening. Whew. I was like, I don't know. Let me see if I can get this up there so you guys can see. And I'm sure as it starts to do it more and more, you'll see it. But there's some cracking going through here and up here and down here. Is that showing up for you guys at all? Yeah, patience is a virtue. I'm trying to see if you guys, okay, so right beneath the wing, oh good, I'm glad you can start to see it. It's really faint, but I am starting to see it. It looks like hairs is what it looks like. I can see some here and in between here. It is starting to crackle around. It just took a while. Oh, and when I turn it to the side here and the light glares on it, I can see it's crackling in quite a few places. So, oh good, Mary, I'm glad it's starting to show up for you too. So what it says to do is to use pigment powders. And there's different, different brands, different kinds. And I thought, oh, well, that's cool. I can use my Posh Pigments for it. Or it says you can use waxes. So let's try that out. I don't have a lot of open colors. I think I'll try this gold. That's mousse. I don't want to try that. I don't know. I'm going to try a couple of things, you guys, and we'll just see, because that's what this is as an experiment. So this is just Posh Pigment, and I love this stuff, you guys. You just add a little bit of the infuser with it, like drops, literally drops, and it will paint quite a bit with this powder. And the reason why I like it is it's never going to go bad on you. It's never going to dry up and go bad or get weird. But let's see what happens if I brush this into the cracks. Oh, you guys, that's very cool. Now you can really see that crack. Okay, right there. Do you see? And I'm just brushing that gold pigment into it. That really makes the cracking show up. Very cool. And I'm assuming it's just going to keep on cracking. Oh, this gold was a good idea. These Posh Pigments come in, I don't know, 20 different colors. So from what I understand, the coat that we put on underneath still stays a little bit on the tacky side. And so when the surface starts cracking and you start rubbing waxes or powders or pigments into it, it's like that tacky side grabs onto it. Although when you rub your finger across here, it feels very smooth. It doesn't feel tacky at all. And it is continuing to crack. So give me 1 second here, and then I'll lift it back up so you guys can see. I was getting worried there, you guys. I thought it was a complete fail on live. It's one thing to fail, but when you do it on a live, that's a whole different thing. Okay, I'm going to hold it up because it's still cracking. But I think it's cracked enough that you guys can start to see. And by putting these pigments down into the cracks, it really makes them pop out. Let me see, because this is an experiment, you guys. So let me see what happens if I use some of the black gilding wax. So I'm just going to take some on the tip of my finger, just a tiny bit, and I'm going to rub it up here in this corner. And then wipe it off. So it goes into the crack too. Okay, almost there. Okay, so it's up in that little tip of the corner there. I put the black. So let me do a little more, since it didn't seem to ruin anything. I think the black makes it show up more. So down here, okay, so now you can see it more with the black on it. So I think I'm going to put the black all over the whole thing. And this is just the Dixie Belle Gilding Wax that comes in gorgeous colors. The bronze would be pretty on here. And I'm just going to do a section at a time and wipe it back. Very cool. Give me some hearts, you guys. I worked hard on this. It's cool how those cracks just fill right in. Just take a little more pressure on your finger and it just works right into those cracks. Goldie, which combo do you like? The black or the gold? It's continuing to crack as I'm doing this, because I'm going over areas that I didn't even see were cracks there, and it just grabs right into those cracks. The first one was the gold, the pale gold pigment. And I have a brighter gold that I probably should have started with the brighter gold. And I think using the gilding wax in small sections is the right thing to do so that it doesn't set up and dry on there. But it's picking up cracks I didn't even see originally, so I know it's continuing to crack. Hi, Deanna. This crackle is awesome. I got a little worried there towards the end because I couldn't see it crackling. And then one faint little crack, and then another faint little crack. This stuff is awesome. So you guys, if you joined late, this isn't a product that I sell. It's a product that I heard was out there that you could use over decoupage. And so I ordered some off of Etsy, and that's the only place I've been able to find it, is on Etsy. And I ordered, it comes as a kit. It's part 1, part 2. It's called Pentart, and it's in the description at the top. It's called Pentart, and both components come in one little kit. And there's another bigger one. This is 100 milligrams. There's another, or milliliters. There's another one that's 150, I think. So I'll definitely go back and order the bigger one, because you guys know me. I love to decoupage and I love to crackle, because you've seen me do a lot of both. And this is awesome that I can do both in one project. And like I said, I'm not going to leave these edges on here white. It just had to be base coated in white so that I could do the decoupage. And you guys, this piece is off of a placemat. And I do have them for sale on my website. They're $3. And there's another one that has another really pretty bee on it. I was just trying to find something that fit onto this little box, and these boxes are $5 a piece. I don't have a lot, but I do still have a few. And I can see places that this is still cracking that I haven't filled in yet. See a spot up here. I'm loving this, you guys. This makes me so happy. Okay, I want to be sure you guys can see these cracks. Oh yeah, they're showing up good for you now. Well, you guys were really good about hanging in there. Thanks, Peggy. I'm loving it too. I really am. This was a really good experiment. So I'll be ordering more. And you guys are on the cutting edge, because, like I said, I was in a business meeting on Zoom last night, and that was with, I don't know, probably 30 other retailers, and I was the only one that actually had product, and the rest of them, most of them had never even heard of it, and the rest of them were like super interested in it. So I know you guys have been on here a long time. Thanks, Vicki. Hi, Denise. Denise, did you just get on here? Look at this. This is Crackle on top of decoupage. Woo-hoo! I am super, super happy. And it's continuing to crack, you guys. So, and I know a lot of you have been on here a long time, but as long as I'm sitting here, I'm going to go ahead and put component 2 on this piece. And what did I do with my brush? I think I stuck it in the water. I'm going to go ahead and do this other piece while I'm sitting here and while I have everything. So I know a lot of you have been sitting here for a good long while, and if you gotta go or you're just bored stiff, I get it. But I'm gonna continue on. So if you're late in tuning in, this was base coated in white paint. I used Fluff. And then this is a transfer that I put on here because you can do this over transfers or over decoupage. And then I put one coat of component 1 on. And it goes on milky. And you dry it really well. And this is dry. And so now it's ready for me to put one coat of component number 2, and this is what makes it crackle. And this is an amber color. So the amber color didn't make so much difference on this one over here. Let's see what difference it makes on one that's painted pure white. So it's not a big difference, you guys. At least I can see if I've got good coverage, where before it was hard to tell if I got everything. Oh, this is so exciting. My 2 favorite things, decoupaging and crackle. Crackle-lackle, you guys. Could I get any more excited? So you just put one coat on and dry it, and it gets glossy. It gets real glossy. And it took a while for it to start crackling. I was like, oh man, this is a fail right here on live on Facebook. But it came through. And you know, they say you can use like your furniture waxes. So I could have used the black furniture wax on that. I think my black furniture wax might be up at the cabin anyway. So I just thought, well, let me try some of the gilding waxes and see what happens. And it worked. All right, I just want to be sure I haven't missed any spots. And like I said, you guys, this is available on Etsy. So if you have a favorite Etsy person that carries this, go let them know you saw live and you need some of this. Okay, I think I've done a good job of coating it everywhere. And apologies again for the hair dryer. I think in the new cracks, I'll go in and put some of the gold back in again. Fiona, it doesn't have a strong smell at all. dry. And I'm not gonna panic over it this time. Oh, I can start to see the cracks. It's happening. I'm going to let it sit for a minute. And there's new cracks on this one. So I'm going to get out Posh. I've never used it. It's Posh Metallic Paste. And see what this does. That's a pretty color. Let's see. That doesn't wipe on and off as easy as, that doesn't wipe off easy at all. So I'm not going to use any more of that. I want to get it off where I put it. You never know till you try. Boy, that stuck like glue. So put that stuff away. So I'm going to go back to the black. Get another paper towel here. Oh man, that Posh is still sticking on there. That might have reactivated the oh, it's looking so pretty, you guys. All right, well, make a note. Don't use that on it. I think that reactivated the stuff that made it crackle. Because see how easy that slides around on there? And it just fills in those cracks super easy. So since I've got it all mucked up down here, I'm going to leave it on a little darker up here in this corner to kind of like make them blend. Like that was purposeful. And then this one up here. Peggy, no, it would be better to let it dry on its own. I was forcing it to get it done in this live. So no, it would be better if you did all of these steps and let them dry on their own and not use a hair dryer on it. That's just hard to do when you're doing a live. Okay, so the Posh Pigments were successful and the black Gilding Wax was successful. The Posh Pigment paste was a disaster, so don't use that. And let me see, oh, this is still, okay, so I'm gonna, I thought that was dry. Let's see what's going on with this one. It's drying and it's cracking. So since this is black, I think I'm going to just stick with the black wax on it. Start up here. And I think working in small sections is a good idea. So rub it in your cracks. And then wipe it off, working in a small section. This is cool. It looks like old crockery. Did I say that right? Hi, Connie. Thank you. Mary, you're so welcome. I've been really excited to do this. And you know, I originally thought I was going to finish up the old window today. That's what I thought I was going to do. But on Saturday when we came off the mountain, I went to Hobby Lobby to get the hooks and the handle that I wanted for it, you know, for the hardware, and some flowers and a wreath. And the hooks and handles weren't on sale, and neither were the flowers. And it was like, I'm not paying full price for this when on Monday it'll all be on sale again. And then yesterday I didn't have a chance to get over there to get it. So this morning I was like, okay, what are you gonna do today, Deb? And then I remembered that I had this Pentart that I've been wanting to do. And I have to tell you guys, it's a little uncomfortable to do something that I don't know how it's going to turn out. And there was a little bit of panic in me when I couldn't see that cracking right away. So, thanks guys for hanging in there with me. I know it was a lot of noise with the hair dryers and stuff, but so we've done 2 pieces. We did a decoupage piece and we did a transfer, and it works great with both of them. So there's so many applications that you could do this on. There's a spot that just feels tacky in here. Okay, look at that, you guys. Isn't that cool? So we have a whole new world of possibilities in our arts and crafts. And I love this. This looks like, you know how old pottery cracks up? That's what this looks like. It's very cool. I'm really happy with it. And it's very cool that you can do this with the transfers. And I'll put some more on tomorrow because I bet it's just going to keep cracking and cracking. So I'll take pictures tomorrow and post them online after they've continued to crack all evening long. And let me bring the camera up. Thanks, Mary. So I'm excited. This was fun. You guys, thanks for hanging in there with me. I don't have my watch on, so I don't even know what time it is, but I know we went past time. So thanks a bunch, you guys. And like I said, you can get this product at 1 and 2, and you can get it on Etsy. I wish I sold it, but I don't. But you can get decoupage tissues from me. And I got a bunch of new ones coming out soon. And I have lots of transfers. And I bet you guys do too. This was just left over from, I think it's called labels. And this is a great way to use up your transfer pieces that you have leftovers. And these boxes are $5 a piece. They're really nice boxes. I have a project in mind, and Easter's passed, so I missed it. But I wanted to do a small wreath in here with a little Easter bunny that was 3D that popped out, and then do a soft stencil back here. But you could do Christmas scenes. You could do reindeer in these. And so then you have this for part of the year and flip it around, and you've got this for the other part of the year. And I also use these same boxes. A lot of you have seen the verses that I do, the Bible verses. They're just great for these little shelf setters and don't take up a lot of space. These are 6" by 6", probably 1.5 inch wide. And I do think I have these on my website. So you guys, thanks a bunch for hanging in there with me tonight. I appreciate it. I wish you all a good evening and see you soon. Bye.